is the geography of the historic nation of the United Kingdom explained in under 6 minutes. Are you ready? Here we go. The UK is an island nation that is comprised of 4 constituent countries as well as numerous outlying island territories. It occupies the entirety of the island of Great Britain as well as its outlying islands as well as the northern sixth of Ireland. It sits at the northwestern edge of the European continent and has maritime borders with Norway, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, and a land border with Ireland. The 4 constituent countries that comprise the United Kingdom are England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. In all, the UK is the 78th largest country in the world, about on par with Uganda or Romania, making it the world's 7th largest island country. And it is the 21st most populous country, with almost exactly the same population as its neighbor France, making it the 4th most populous island country. The UK also has 17 overseas island possessions, though, which in total give it the world's 5th largest ocean territory, larger than that of Canada or Mexico. And this really gets at the heart of the number one thing you have to understand about the geography of the United Kingdom, which is that it is in every sense the last remnant of the largest and most hegemonic empire the world has ever seen. As the only country with territory on all 7 of the world's continents, the UK has possessions as close by as the Isle of Man and as distant as the Pitcairn Islands, as far north as the Shetlands and as far south as Antarctica, and as wealthy as Bermuda and as poor as Montserrat. The UK is still in every sense an empire. However, it has shrunk from what was once a quarter of the world's land and population to a few scattered islands that have a combined population of about 250,000. Because of this, we will save the specifics and the ethics of these overseas territories for another video. Returning to the 4 core constituent countries, England, Scotland, and Wales jointly occupy the largest island of the nation, Great Britain. Great Britain is the world's 9th largest and 3rd most populous island. And geographically, it shares much in common with the rest of northwestern Europe, from which it is separated by the narrow 21-mile English Channel. The island has a diverse geography that generally becomes flatter and more densely populated the farther south you travel. England is by far the largest, most populous, and most powerful country in the United Kingdom, with Scotland coming second in all the aforementioned metrics, followed by Wales and Northern Ireland. On just over half of the country's land, England has 56 million people, 84% of the UK's population. This is due largely to the fact that England is comprised mainly of low-lying plains and rolling hills. Crisscrossed by numerous navigable rivers and artificial canals, England is home to several massive urban areas that have some of the best industrial geography and natural harbors in the world, such as Poole Harbour in the country's south, which claims to be the world's 2nd largest natural harbour after Sydney Harbour in Australia. The southeast corner of England alone, in and around the capital and largest city of London, is home to over 1/3 of all Brits, nearly 20 million people. This flat terrain and abundant access to fresh water is what spurred on the Industrial Revolution, which began in England in the 1760s. To this day, the cities of England are some of the wealthiest parts of Europe, and London has the 9th largest economy of any city in the world. North of the London metropolitan area and southern England lies what's known as the Midlands, a landscape of rolling hills and rich coal deposits with major cities like Birmingham. The Midlands once had the most significant coal industry of any place in the world, and even today, offshore oil extraction is a major industry there. As we continue to head north, we enter northern England, which is the most rugged part of England and is home to the country's highest point, Scafell Pike, at about 1,000 meters or 3,200 feet. This area was carved by glaciers at the end of the last ice age, and as such has some beautiful mountain terrain, including the famous Lake District National Park. This is also one of the largest treeless regions in all of Europe thanks to ancient deforestation that occurred here. As we leave the core of England, we enter the other more culturally distinct regions of the UK. Whereas England has an Anglo-Saxon heritage, the rest of the nation has a primarily Celtic background. This includes the southeastern corner of England in Cornwall, as well as the Isle of Man and the other 3 constituent countries of the UK. Scotland is the largest and most autonomous of the non-England countries, and contains the most mountainous and wild terrain in the United Kingdom. Scotland itself is divided into 2 separate regions, the Highlands and the Lowlands, with the majority of people living right in between in and around the 2 largest cities of Glasgow and Edinburgh. The Highlands are home to the United Kingdom's highest point, Ben Nevis, at 4,400 feet or 1,300 meters. This is also where the largest, deepest, and most voluminous lakes of the country can be found. Long, narrow ribbon lakes called lochs, including the famous Loch Ness. Wales and Northern Ireland are both smaller but similarly rugged, with their populations being heavily centered around their capitals of Cardiff and Belfast, respectively. Going beyond the four constituent countries, the UK has an incredibly complicated system of administrative geography, with dozens of counties, council areas, districts, and boroughs, not to mention the 17 overseas territories. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments if you want a whole video on UK administrative geography, because it confuses a lot of people, myself included. Economically speaking, the UK has the world's 6th largest economy and is highly industrialized, with a relatively high GDP per capita by global standard. About on par with Hong Kong or the US Virgin Islands, but nonetheless less than half that of the United States. It has a heavily service-based economy and is a huge financial center, with large tourism, insurance, and specialized manufacturing industries as well. And despite being an island, the nation is connected to the rail network of the rest of Europe thanks to the 30-mile-long Channel Tunnel. Famous sites to visit include the historic buildings and museums of London, the castles of Scotland, the beautiful natural sights of the Lake District, and the advanced alien technology that is Stonehenge. Brits, let me know what I forgot in the comments down below, and everybody else let me know where you think we should go next. Thanks for watching. Follow for more.